Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of Wos Speaks. Of course, I'm your host, Big Wos, aka Wosny Lambre. Shouts to the Patreons. Shouts to everybody joining us live on YouTube. Shouts to everybody on the podcast. We appreciate your patronage. Um, didn't make it on the pod last week. Sorry about that. Things got a little hectic, but I'm back like I never left. Crazy week, man. Just another crazy week. And the first thing I want to get into is I'm scrolling my Instagram yesterday, I guess it was, and I see Jay Prince, legendary founder of Rap A Lot Records, Scarface, UGK, you name it, whatever. Ghetto Boys, all of that. I see him posting Donald Trump sitting down next to a black lady. I'm like, what the fuck is Jay Prince posting right now? Because Jay Prince he has a different kind of social media. The way he handles his social is different from a lot of people. And I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta see what's going on. Then I read the caption and made me so freaking rude. Then I read the caption and Donald Trump commuted the sentence of Larry Hoover. Yes, that Larry Hoover. I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover. um, One of the founding forefathers of the Gangster Disciples in Chicago, one of the biggest gangs in America. Um, been in prison since 1972. He's been in jail for 51 years. He's now 74 years old. Just kind of just blew my mind, man. A while ago, if you guys remember, like Jay Prince has kind of been on this Larry Hoover crusade for a minute. He was doing media. If you guys remember, he actually got Drake to do a collaboration concert with Kanye out here in LA. I think it was at the USC joint at the Coliseum. You know, after like the huge Drake and Ye beef or whatever, like he made them two come together for a Hoover benefit concert, which I'm assuming they used some of this money to grease the wheels of justice, so to speak, to get this guy out. And he's gonna get out. Larry Hoover is getting out of prison by the wave of Donald Trump's pen. This is insane. Like, it's just I kind of don't even know where to start with this. In like Trump being such a transactional, like if you'll give me the bread, I'll get you out. Like Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, Harry O. Those of you who don't know Harry O, he was I guess you could say, street entrepreneur out here in Los Angeles in the 80s. He provided some of the seed money as a founder and original investor of Death Row Records. Okay. Own nightclubs out here. Like he's a legendary figure out here in Los Angeles. And Snoop, from what I'm told, helped get Harry O out during Trump 1.0. Who NBA YoungBoy just got his joint commuted. Again, we know these guys all paid to play. It's just something about Trump. He's so shady and so grossly corrupt, but like so transparent. It's just so obvious what he's doing. I can't even put my words to it. And one of my homies, man, a former Democratic Party operative, he was like, could you imagine if Barack Obama let Larry Hoover out of prison? Like, could you even imagine it? I'm like, bro, no, of course not. And Barry wouldn't want to, by the way. He'd be too bougie to do it. He's too black fucking elite. He's too black bourgeoisie to ever even consider something like that. He'd never do. He'd do it for a white collar black financial criminal. He'd never do it for a street dude. Hell no. But Trump's like, I don't care. Jay Prince and them put the bread together, funneled it to my campaign or my crypto or my whatever they did. Because apparently there's just like a trillion ways to funnel money to Trump to get favors done. And Larry Hoover, bro, is out of like I just couldn't believe this shit when I saw it. Um, and I want to read some of this stuff from the BBC. Jerv, if you could put this up when you get a chance. Trump commutes gang leader sentence in flurry of pardons. As part of spree, more than 24 clemency actions this week. As part of a spree of more than 24 clemency actions this week, U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday commuted the federal prison sentence of Larry Hoover, the founder of the notorious Chicago street gang. Hoover was the leader of the Gangster Disciples in the 1990s was given 6 life sentences on conspiracy, extortion, drug, and other criminal charges. So Hoover went to prison, of course, but was like still running the organization from prison. And these guys, like, he had that shit running like a straight up business to the point where they were washing some of the street money through legitimate means and funneling it into political activities, political action organizations. Like, this dude was using the money from prison to influence politics in Chicago. And I think that's when they really came down on him in the 90s. Like, yo, all right, you could run your little street organization from prison, but now you fucking with our shit. And so in the 90s, he was given 6 life sentences on conspiracy, extortion, drug, and other criminal charges. In addition to his federal sentence, Hoover still faces 200-year jail term in the state of Illinois for murder and is unlikely to be released soon. A president is unable to commute state-level offenses. On Wednesday, the president also granted a pardon to other convicts, including Michael Grimm. I remember Michael Grimm, a former New York City congressman. He serves 7 months in prison on felony tax fraud. As well as Hoover and Grimm, at least 8 others have been pardoned by the president in recent days. The New York Times reported that Trump issued a total of 25 pardons or commutations of prison sentences on Wednesday. Department of Justice records indicate that during his second term, Trump has pardoned more than 40 people, in addition to almost 1,600 pardons doled out to people charged or convicted in connection to the January 6th Capitol riots. He did 237 pardons during his first campaign. Yeah. And so there you have it. So yeah, he got locked in the early 70s on a murder rap. I think it was him and 2 other co-defendants. They don't have him as being the trigger puller, but they claim that he was in the car with those guys. Who knows? I think it was one of those deals, to be honest with you. Police playing fast and loose with the rules, fast and loose with the rules. They know he's the leader of the gang. They're like, screw it. We don't got the evidence, but we'll figure out how to lock his ass up anyway. It's just crazy. Hoover 74 built the Gangster Disciples into a nationwide street gang from its origins on Chicago's South Side in the 70s. In 73, he was convicted of ordering the execution of a rival drug dealer. Authorities allege that he continued to lead his gang from prison. In the 1990s, he formed a political organization and claimed that he had transformed the Gangster Disciples into a community service organization called Growth and Development. So GD didn't stand for Gangster Disciple no more, y'all. It was Growth and Development. However, he was found guilty on a long list of federal charges in 1997. In recent years, he has advocated for criminal justice reform, including the First Step Act, which Trump signed into law in 2018. Among other things, the law allows for reduced sentences for inmates who participate in programs aimed at reducing or reoffending. Uh, Hoover has continued to publicly disavow gang life. I'm no longer a gang leader or even an elder statesman of gangster disciples. Hoover wrote in 2022, I want nothing to do with it now and forever. Um, Whatever. The cops are saying, who cares? It's just crazy. It's just wild. That Larry Hoover got a presidential pardon from Donald freaking Trump. Just amazing. And I think the reason why it's important, aside from Trump just showing you like the norms, the rules, like it's all fake and doesn't actually exist. If it's not on paper, like you quote unquote can't do this, there's nothing stopping a president or a party who's in power from doing what the hell they want. Now, the judges at a certain point can step in on certain things, but the president has this power to do this. And again, we would never like expect Barry or Joe Biden or even a Kamala Harris to commute the sentences of Mamiya or any of these other political prisoners or stuff like that. That like I think that's just out of the question. And the idea that Democrats would take a different view on this, I think is laughable. But I think if Democrats like had any balls, man, they would take this as a lesson that for the next time that they themselves are in power, that they don't need to be cowed, bro. Stop worrying about decorum. Stop worrying about norms. Stop worrying about, oh, but that's not the standard that's been set. Oh, but no, Mitch McConnell has to let Merrick Garland become a Supreme Court judge. No, he has to. No, President Trump can't just do his business stuff while, no, that's just not done. Like, bruh, grab your nuts for once, Democrats. Please, Lord have mercy. Take a lesson from this guy's 2 administrations, bro. Like, he straight up just doesn't care. Like, the office is for sale. It's just like, it's not even, there's no hiding it. There's no pretending. There's none of that. It's just like, yo, we here. This is what we up here doing. They just announced the Trump Enterprises is $2.5 billion investment in Bitcoin. Trump about to pass Bitcoin legislation. That's about to go up. Their investment about to triple in no time. Like, it's insane with these guys. Like, it's so out in the open. And so the idea that these guys would be scared to do whatever the hell they claim they want to do for the people, it's just laughable, man. Anyway, the Hoover thing is just wild. One of my homies from Chicago was chatting with him. He was just like at a loss for words. Like, the idea that Larry Hoover's coming home and again, Donald J. Trump sprung this guy loose from prison. It's a cartoon at this point. Let's get to Elon Musk on his Doge farewell, man. Elon, don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you, brother. We barely got to know you, Elon. I want to play this clip, Jerv. Here we go.
Matt Gelka reports from Washington.
I think a bill can be big or it can be beautiful. But I don't know if it could be both.
Elon Musk, the billionaire White House advisor who was a fixture of the first 4 months or so of Donald Trump's second term, is publicly breaking with the administration on the big, beautiful bill.
I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
Musk's criticism comes as he's taken a step back from government work after high-profile public backlash to Doge's work of trying to downsize the federal government. Doge rapidly cut staff, programs, and entire agencies since it was established earlier this year. The Trump-backed bill contains a number of the president's priorities, but also carries an estimated $2 to $4 trillion price tag to pay for some of the proposals, including extending 2017 tax cuts, defense spending, and more money for immigration issues.
The reaction's a lot of things. Number one, we have to get a lot of votes. We can't be cutting. We need to get a lot of support, and we have a lot of support.
Musk isn't the only one speaking out about the bill that barely passed the House last week. Republican senators have voiced concerns over the potential added national debt the legislation might bring, and those concerns could be enough to stall the bill's progress.
I think we have enough to stop the process until the president gets serious about spending reduction and reducing the deficit.
In a different interview with the Washington Post, Musk defended Doge's work while admitting trimming the bureaucracy was tougher than he thought it'd be. He also told the Post Doge turned into the whipping boy for everything in Washington. House Speaker.
He said they was a whipping boy. I think it's interesting that he's dissing the big beautiful bill. I mean, obviously, we've talked about it up here. It's horrible. But I think it's interesting that Elon and a lot of the other tech bros are like, bruh, like, this thing does nothing to pay down the debt. It actually increases it by a lot and for no reason whatsoever. And yeah, these guys are rich as hell. They're going to benefit from the tax cuts, but I think they take a longer view in terms of what's this going to do with the Fed and the interest rate. Basically from 2009 until the pandemic, I guess that's a freaking 13 year, whatever time period. No interest, dude. Not low interest, no interest, meaning free money. You get money and just pay motherfuckers back. That was the investment climate and context that they got so used to living under. And now, like, things like the deficit spiking and Moody's downgrading our country's credit rating, like, the Fed is not going to lower the interest rate under those circumstances. And so that's why I think Elon and them, like, normally they'd be like, yeah, cut our taxes. But like, even these idiots see like, yo, in the long run, this is not going to help us. You know, these guys these highly leveraged hedge funds and private equity and all these other things, like these guys aren't making crazy margins on a lot of these investments. The interest rates go up and now they're starting to get completely squeezed. Anyway, I think that's why he's coming out against that. But I love the whole, they use this as a whipping boy and blah, blah, blah. I think, look, man, he got out because he had to. One, they promised $2 trillion in cuts, which was clown crap. Then they said, nah, we're going to get to $1 trillion. Then they claimed $150 billion, which is essentially 15% of what they claimed they were going to do. The math is funny as hell. It's looking like it was like 10 billion, okay? Which is like a decimal point in the federal budget. So you failed at your own stated goal. That's a one. I think another thing is that Trump's actual inner circle and cabinet members absolutely hated Elon because why wouldn't they? He freaking sucks. He's antisocial. He will diss you on Twitter for no reason. He thinks he's smarter than everybody, doesn't play well with others. Like, yeah, so nobody around Trump liked this dude. And how could you if Doge's whole thing is like, we run the federal bureaucracy? And it's like, hold on. Why'd I take this job with Trump at Treasury? Why'd I take this job with Trump at transportation, or at state? Why'd I take this job if Elon gonna be the one dictating stuff to my staff and my budgets and X, Y, and Z? Like, it's intention. Like, people like power. So, that happened. And I think most importantly, y'all, being the CEO of consumer product like Tesla, which is the reason for his net worth, is that Tesla stock price. It's not because Tesla is doing this. Is not like dividends off of Tesla sales. It's literally the stock price is what his wealth is tied up into. And the stock is tanking, and it's because you can't be the CEO of a consumer product, then turn yourself into a partisan. It doesn't make any sense. You have to be able to sell cars to everybody, especially cars that cost $80,000, $90,000, bro. You can't afford to be losing any customers with a product that's at that price point. So this freaking idiot turning himself into the Donald Trump administration mascot, gleefully going to conservative freaking, conferences and chainsawing stuff and talking about, I want to murder federal employees and I'm the Donald Trump mascot and an idiot. That's bad for business. And dog, I live in California, bro. When I moved here, California, what? One of the most liberal states in the goddamn union. When I moved here in 2017, I couldn't believe the amount of Teslas that I saw on the road out here. Teslas was like Honda Civics in New York out here, bro. No cap. So what does that mean? A bunch of freaking liberals buying your shit, bro. And you go out and make yourself a freaking partisan figure. You publicly align yourself with a polarizing ass president. And I've used this example on TYT earlier. So there's the Trump Hotel, which I don't even think he owns in Vegas. But let's just use the Trump Hotel as an example. Let's just say every single lib, Dem-loving, blue MAGA-loving person decides, I'm never going to stay at the Trump Hotel no more. And now it's like conservatives got to step up to the plate. Yeah, you could do that for a room that costs $300-400 a night to stay at. $250 on the off season. Yeah, that inventory can be filled by a bunch of conservatives. No problem. Easily. But when your cars cost 90 G's, bro, and increasingly suburbanite, college educated, white collar people are freaking libs, what are you doing? Add to the fact you're antagonizing European leaders. Add to the fact your boy Trump, who you helped get freaking elected, antagonizing China. They about to make you look crazy in your most important consumer market. Add to the fact BYD, the Chinese company, kicking your ass at the actual quality of the cars. You put all of that stuff together, he's monkeying around at Doge, not even doing the work that they stated that they came to do. Yeah, bruh. You got to go back to your job, bro. I think it was the Wall Street Journal that put out the report that the board did an exploratory, CEO search. Yo, can we get a guy to come in here and run our freaking company? Sales down across every single region, every single model in America. I mean, yes, Volkswagen and Ford and other people are offering electric vehicles. So you don't have the monopoly on the electric market that you used to. I understand that, but you also accelerating your decline by antagonizing 50% of the freaking public. Again, and I said this already, the freaking chick, the CEO chick of In-N-Out, first Trump term, she was fundraising or sent money to a Trump PAC or whatever. People were oh my God, whatever. Everybody got over it. You know why? She's not on Twitter every day being a Trump mascot. She's not at the White House every week. She's not the face of right-wing culture in America. So yeah, in liberal ass LA, nobody thinks twice about eating that In-N-Out, even though she's Republican and associated with them. You can't do this as a CEO. The Chick-fil-A people, they're God-bothering, Jesus freak, gay-hating people. Guess what? They stay out the way. People still go to Chick-fil-A and be like, I hate that they hate the gays, but, spicy chicken, not so bad. But Elon, I don't know this dude. I don't know what this dude thought he was doing. Then, of course, he poured all that money into that judge race in Wisconsin. They got smoked. All of this stuff adding up to be like, yeah, go home, Elon. Go home, son. We're going to let you have a face saving, like, oh, his time came up because he was a special government employee, blah, blah, blah. Go home, kid. All of this was stupid. But, don't get it twisted, man. He got government contracts out of this for Starlink and SpaceX. Like, don't get it twisted. He got bread for that. The investigations into Tesla by some of the regulatory bodies. I think there was investigations into Hyperlink, like by some of our regulatory bodies. All of those got dropped. He got shit out of it. But boy, his tail is in between his legs, bro. They made Doge the whipping boy. Washington blamed everything on us. Bitch ass Elon, man. Hey, but that's how it goes. Anyway, that's our show for today, y'all. Make sure you subscribe to patreon.com/Count the Dings for a cup of coffee a month, man. Become a Count the Dings Patreon. Support all the things that we do up here at Count the Dings. Shouts to my guy, John Gervais, on the 1s and 3s, keeping the trains running on time. We will see you guys next week. Peace out.